Guys, so here's some practice or some examples for you of working with integers for our intro lesson, okay? So let's say that you lose a $5 bill while walking home from school. If you lose $5, then that means negative. So it's always a good thing to kind of underline that word that tells you, is it a positive or is it a negative, okay? Now it says to represent it on a number line. All right, so I would draw a number line. And in order to represent the negative, because this is going to be -5, in order to represent the -5, I have to have a 0 first. So since I'm only representing one number, I know I can put my 0 in the middle, okay? And then even though I'm only representing a negative, I still want to show a positive number if I can. So over here, I could space it out and I could put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could number them 1 through 5. Or I could number them, let's go 2, 4, 6. And notice that they're kind of evenly spaced. Your numbers should be evenly spaced. Well, if I put 2, 4, 6 on the right-hand side, I should put -2, -4, -6 on the left-hand side. Okay? Now, I need to place -5 in my number line. So -5 would be between -4 and -6, wouldn't it? Because you count 4, 5, 6, right? So -4 and -5, -6. So it would be right smack dab in the middle, and that would be -5. So that's how I would represent it on a number line. Okay? Then, let's see. You download 7 songs to your MP3. Now, you might look at that word download and think, oh, well, down, that must mean negative. But you're downloading songs to your MP3. That means you're giving yourself 7 songs. So that would mean positive. So it's definitely a positive number. So because I'm going to be a little bit scrunched for space on this worksheet, I'm just going to do it on a separate piece of paper. Okay, so right here, I would draw a number line. And just to show you that the 0 does not always have to be in the middle, I'm going to put my 0 over here. Okay, and if my 0 is over here, I could probably fit -1 right there, but not much else. Now I'm going to do my positive side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then remember, I need to chart the 7. So here's my dot. I'm placing my dot right there. And that is 7. That's how I would represent it. Okay? Now this next one, it says the wind chill is 35 degrees below 0. So I would write my number line. And this time, since I know below is telling me that this is -35, below 0 tells me it's -35, I can put my 0 over here this time. And because my number is pretty big, I don't want to go -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. It would take forever, and this wouldn't be a long enough number line, would it? So instead, I'm going to go -10, which means I have to put a 10 over here, show my positive side. -20, -30, -40, and I can fit -50 over here. Now I have to graph my negative 35. And negative 35 is going to be smack dab in the middle of 30 and 40, isn't it? Because if I counted by 5, I would go negative 5, negative 10, negative 15, negative 20, negative 25, negative 30, negative 35. And then I graph it. All right, so remember you have lots of different options on the numbers that you can use to graph a number line. Okay, so let's go back to our worksheet. I'm going to try and focus it one more time because it gets off focus. Okay, so it says to write a positive or negative integer that represents the situation. So this time all I would have to do is write a number. So if a parachutist descends 50 feet, what would be my keyword in this sentence? Hopefully you see descends as going down, because if you think about it, a parachutist, when they jump out of a plane, they're never going to go up. They're always going to go down, aren't they? So if they're jumping out of a plane, descends means to come down, okay? So if they're going down, that would be negative 50. Okay, hope they wouldn't be jumping out of a plane at 50 feet, right? Hopefully it's a lot higher. All right, so number 5, a baker discards 12 loaves of bread. So discards is your keyword there, and that's telling me that they're throwing it away. If they're throwing 12 loaves of bread away, it's a negative 12. Okay, a football team advances 10 yards. They advance 10 yards. So if you advance, you're gaining. So that's just 10. And you earn $15 for mowing your neighbor's lawn. If you earn something, that means you're gaining it. So that means 15. Okay, so I don't necessarily want to talk about graphing the integers because I just showed you 3 examples of graphing. Well, actually, let me show you one so that you can see what graphing the integer and its opposite looks like, okay? So we'll do number 8, and I'll come over here and I'll do a number line, okay? So we're graphing 5 and its opposite. So I should probably put my 0 in the middle because I have to graph something on both sides. And this time I'm going to go, I'm going to do 2, 4, 6. And I'm going to do 2, 4, 6. And these are negatives. All right, and remember, you need to pick numbers that are going to fit on your number line. So if you had a smaller number line, you would use 5, 10, 15, 20. If you had really big numbers, perhaps we were graphing 100 and its opposite. Maybe I go 10, 20, 30, or maybe I go 20, 40, 60, 80. You have to be a good judge of which numbers to use. You don't want to, if you're graphing 100, you don't want to have to write 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, okay? All right, so if I'm graphing 5, first, I have to look for where is 5. 5 is in the middle of 4 and 6. So here is 5. And if I'm graphing negative 5, because negative 5 is its opposite, so I have to come down to this side, and negative 5 would be between negative 4 and negative 6. So I put my line here, negative 5. Okay? So normally you would do that with each of these, but really for today, I just want you guys to understand that this has an opposite. And I'm going to give you a second. Go ahead and try and figure out the opposites for number 9 through 13. And pause the video, find the opposites, and then come back, okay? So hopefully you just did that. You paused, you found the opposites, and now you're back. So if you found the opposite of negative 2, the opposite of negative 2 would be 2. And If you found the opposite of 13, the opposite of 13 would be negative 13. And if you found the opposite of 20, the opposite of 20 would be negative 20. And if you found the opposite of negative 18, you would have positive 18. Remember, we don't put a plus sign in front of it. It's just 18. And if you found the opposite of negative 25, you would have 25. Okay. All right. You are off to do your practice now. For your practice, you are going to use the worksheet that I upload, and you're going to draw your number lines on a piece of notebook paper, just like I did here. And then you're either going to take a close-up picture of the notebook paper, or you're going to scan it. There's a scan function on most phones, so you can scan the worksheet or the notebook paper and upload it to Canvas. This one is going to require an upload. Okay? Alrighty, guys. Have a great day.